you, this is my second time doing the comedy show here, and I gotta tell you, this intro was way better than my first one. Remember that one, Courtney? It went something like this. It said, this next guy coming to the stage, I don't know who he is. My friend Randy Peters recommended him, so if he sucks, we're all gonna meet at Randy's house and kick his ass, right? Get up here, Brian. Like, love coming to yucaipa. Such an interesting word. I love the way the old Jewish people say it in Los Angeles. They say, "Ya hypa?" Why are you hypa? Damn, this is a good looking crowd. I'd bang a lot of you. This is yucaipa. I have banged a lot of you. Cougar Dan over here, and White Panther Dan in the back. Ready to go. Oh yeah, I love Courtney's email too because it explained to all the comedians how to get here, and she was ready to say go up the boulevard, hang a right on California. It's an effing roundabout. I gotta say, I was a little confused by this whole roundabout thing at the end of the boulevard that nobody gives a shit about. I mean, I just envision like the city council meeting where they're like, okay, let's get together with the planners and we're just gonna come up with some way to, you know, create some revenue up at this end of the boulevard. And so they close these doors and they start passing out crayons. Like the big ones, not the adult ones, the big ones. Half the room's eating them. I like red ones. They're like, okay, how are we gonna drum up business for that end of the boulevard? Well, why don't we just slow them down? I'm listening. How do you propose we do that? Make them go in circles? We can have a really good time and fuck with them and make them back into the parking spots, right? So tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so let me be the first to say, you can take down your goddamn Christmas lights now. I guarantee you, everyone in here has one house on the block. They're just like, I can't fucking believe these people. They take this shit down. I know what they're thinking. Well, we're gonna put them up again next year. Let's do what my dad does and like grab a corner and just make it look like the wind took it. Just hope the neighbors come and be like, oh shit, what happened? You should finish that. Valentine's Day. They decided to have a show on Valentine's Day weekend because they knew we comedians weren't doing shit. We're all single. Dating in LA is interesting. It's very different than the Inland Empire. For instance, like out here I can say, you know, I'm a builder, I'm a contractor, and I do stand-up, and the women are like, oh, my dad's a builder, my brother's a builder, but ooh, you do stand-up, ooh, nice. Now out in LA, it's like the polar opposite. I'm like, yeah, I'm a builder. And they're like, ooh, you know how to make things and stuff? And I go, yeah, and I'm also a comedian. Oh, shit. All they hear is, no, great, I'm going to live with my parents for 5 more years. Slow it down, baby, 5 years. Whew. Moving fast. Yeah. Women out here are different, too. Can I just throw this out here, ladies? Can we take it easy on the tattoos? All of y'all, take it easy on the tattoos. Oh my God, I worked out at LA Fitness down in Redlands the other day, and I felt like I was in a prison yard. It's like my goal to find a girl that's not caked in tattoos. You know, I'm trying to make out what this stuff is. Half of them are just sleek as shit. Like, you can't even make the stuff out. They think I'm checking them out. And I was like, oh, what are you, a big Jackson Pollock fan or something? And women crack me up too. They're like, ooh, I wanted to get something feminine, so I put rhinestones in the handles of the brass knuckles. Nailed it. You nailed it. Over tattoos, man. You ever notice that the people that you know that have the most tattoos are the ones with the least amount of money? How's that work? That stuff's not cheap. It's like $100 an hour for that stuff. You know, they're always showing something off like, yeah, hey, this one took 10 hours. Then everyone gets, you know, starts gathering money for like a beer run, and they're the ones that go give you $5 and be like, hey, get a lot. So I got this piece too. Like, dude, are tattoo parlors taking EBT cards now? Hey, dude, no wonder you're broke. You just injected your rent into your 3rd and 4th layers of your dermis there. Luckily, your parents are cool about the rent, so. I can talk shit about tattoos. I'm in the process of having 3 of them removed right now. 3 big dogs. Serious stuff, man. And people always ask me the same thing. They're like, hey, does it hurt? Like, to get shot with a frickin' laser? No, it tickles a little bit. Just a little. The worst part is they're picking up like all the hot coffee cart girls and making them into laser technicians, so you don't want to cry like a bitch in front of them. Ends up looking like that scene with Denzel from Glory where he's just like, no, no one has to hold me, you can whip me. And then after about 4 whips, you just see the teardrop. You doing all right? I'm fine, just hurry up. Serves me right, though. Who saw the tribal band going out of style? I did not see that coming. When they came up with fun little names for tattoos like Tramp Stamp. Don't even get me started on the misspelled word. That one cuts deep. I'll always remember the phone call I made to my dad telling him I just blew $6,000 on laser tattoo removal, and all I heard on the other end was. Is
that what you'll do when I call you boy?
Yes, you were right. Cool. I hope like all my friends that have kids, I hope the kids grow up fast enough that I can take them for a laser session with me just to really scare the living shit out of them. I'm a bad sleeper, and it's getting progressively worse. I now resort to earplugs, an eye mask, and a mouthpiece. The full trifecta, folks. Like, ladies, if that doesn't spell morning. Imagine waking up next to this. Babe? A little, I know most of the women in this audience are like, hell no. I know you guys are all married, you're over that shit. Those days done come and gone. One could try anyways. to look up what the Knights of Columbus actually are. I guess, before I looked it up on the internet, I thought I should stop by Any Day's Payday and Pawn on 5th Street there and get one of them night suits. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
One of these days, I just want to make it in this world and just have so much money that I'm like, I want all 3 of those suits. I don't even have a place for them. I just want them. Yeah. The dating scene is definitely interesting here. It got really small really fast. And I think that's because everybody had already banged everybody else. Like, by the time I was like a senior in high school, it was already done. Like, you'd be talking to your boys, you'd be like, hey, have you seen Sue lately, huh? They'd be like, oh, dude, make sure you wear a condom. And like 3 other dudes in the group would be like, yeah, if you go hang out with her, I lost my class ring when I was fingering her. Can you get that back? Oh, it gets worse. Saddle up, partners. The worst is when it's on the flip side and you're hanging out with a chick and they're like, oh, you were hanging out with Derek? Here's his class ring. Like, you too? Put that shit on a chain. Had to leave. Probably because I was living with my parents still, and I'm not embarrassed about this. I lived at home until I was like 20. And no, I'm not Mexican. Dude, Mexicans will live at home forever. Seriously, I was talking to one dude the other day. I was like, dude, how old are you? He's like, 35? Saving up for your own place? No, it's cheap. If you didn't laugh at that, you either have that 35-year-old Mexican boy living at home, or you are that 35-year-old Mexican boy. I love living with my parents, though. They're cool people. They're the salt of the earth. Wait for it, guys. Wait for it. They party hard. We have a good old time. They have great friends, too. They've had friends for, like, they keep friends forever. My mom's best friend from 1st grade, they still hang out. And the crazy thing is, her husband was like my dad's best friend in high school. No, this isn't some sort of inbreeding, like, diagram I'm making here. These are separate families here. It is yucaipa. It is yucaipa. And it's crazy, because like the older I get, now my mom's friends are hitting on me. You watch it, that box of Franzia gets about halfway, shit gets real. Shit gets real. You know, I used to change your diapers. She's halfway through that bladder of Franzia, guys. Parents are awesome people. The only thing I didn't like about living at home was that I was always under the impression that as married couples progressed in life, they had less sex. I feel like there's a room of people that can attest to this. They're like, that's hit or miss. I walked in on my parents 8 times. 8! You know how much therapy that is? It's like 5 years per walk-in. Be in therapy till the ripe young age of 65 or something. It's hardcore. I'd catch them in weirder and weirder places, too. It wasn't like their bedroom. I never knocked on that door, you know? It's like backdraft. You check that door for heat? I swear. I had to carry around a squirt bottle like they were cats. Like, get out of here! I just washed these sheets. This is my room. I dreaded when I would come home from school or work and there were 2 cars in the garage. Like that garage door would open and just be like... Come into the house like I'm expecting a ninja attack or something. I can smell it. There's something going on here. Every time I'd walk in on him too, my mom would flip out. She'd be like, "Oh my God, don't you knock." I'd be like, "You're in the backyard." This door is glass. That was my favorite lounge chair. Well, you never noticed before. This isn't the first time? I had to do a family reunion up north, and I had to stay with my parents in the same room for 6 nights. 6! Oh boy, every night I'd hear the same thing. Babe. Babe. What? I love a little. No, he's right next to us. Kid's got fucking earplugs in. He's got an eye mask. We're good to go. Start hearing them smooching on each other. Like, I'm out of here. Fuck. I was on the balcony. Gross. My dad's like, I hope he tells that story.